home isn't necessarily a place. It's a moment in the present where we're content, we're happy, where we feel settled, where we feel like there's opportunity for us. Hey, good morning, how are you? This is the morning walk, and for the last 4 months I've been trying to get home to Sydney. Can you help? Been all sorts of crazy shit going on, and I've been stranded. Stranded on the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. It's been really tough, but I do want to get home to Sydney. A bit of a story for you. Let's take a walk and have a bit of a chat. Sometimes life throws you a curveball, doesn't it? We got here 4 months ago, and just as we arrived, we were only 3 days away from getting home to Sydney at the end of 12 or 13 month trip around Australia. So everyone's getting pretty excited about jumping in the car for that last big drive down the freeway, pulling into home, being reunited with our dog. But it just wasn't to be, because there's yet another outbreak down in Sydney, which just meant that, I don't know, did we really want to be driving back into Sydney simply for us to be locked up at home because of an ongoing lockdown, and therefore not able to actually catch up with all our friends and family, for, you know, us not to be able to go back to our work or kids to go back to school. So I don't know, it just didn't seem like there was much upside to making that last little trip. But of course, that's something that you've dreamed about for years, like this, for years, well, yeah, it's been a year. That's something you've dreamed about, like being home. But then we stopped and we settled here in Noosaville. This has literally been my morning walk for the past 4 months. It's not too bad, is it? It's like all the boats and jet skis being put in on the water, got heaps of people enjoying the outdoors, the river's magnificent. It's not much of a punishment. And it's like any time that you arrive anywhere, right? Bit by bit, you settle in, you get to know your walk, you get to know the local coffee shops, you get to know the supermarkets, the schools. You kind of get a feel for a place. And it doesn't take that long for a random place, a travel place that you're just passing through, to actually start to feel like home. And I guess that's the thing that's a little bit unusual today, is that we're leaving, we're heading home, to our other home. But if that's home and this is home, what's really home? I don't know. That's what I've been pondering the last couple of weeks as the going home day has sort of been sneaking up. Wondering what home really means anyway, because some people are as comfortable in the face of the most extraordinary adversity as others are, you know, sitting on their couch watching television. And then you've got entrepreneurs who have constant uncertainty, who are constantly fighting against this enormous risk that whatever they're working on is just going to go under, who are as comfortable in that situation as the person who's been working in their career for 35 years. So that threshold point is different for everybody. And I guess one of the things that I've thought about and come to realise, particularly in the last few days as I reflect on what started as a 6-month trip and ended up becoming an 18-month trip around Australia, was that home isn't necessarily a place. It's a moment in the present where we're content, we're happy, where we feel settled, where we feel like there's opportunity for us, where we can see things moving forward, where we're comfortable, where we can go to bed at night and not stress out and not dream bad dreams, but like look forward to every day. And so Noosaville is now home. Just like being cramped in the caravan for 13 months was home. Just like free camping in the bush was home, living in a resort right now is home. in like a day's time, 2 days' time, we'll pull back into our house in Sydney, and that will be home. Is home where your house is? Where your friends are? Well, yes, but also no. We hooked up our caravan to our Land Cruiser and drove all over Australia, camping in the wild sometimes, and that felt as much like home as our house back in Sydney. There've been times on this trip where we may have been in some sort of remarkable place, but I've really just wanted to be back at my house in Sydney. And reflecting on those experiences, what was different? I mean, I was in an amazing place, super fortunate to have the opportunity to be where we were, and yet I wasn't feeling at home. I wasn't feeling present and centered. And that's because it's not a place. It's a moment in time where we're comfortable, where we can sleep well, and we have opportunities in front of us. And I guess that's the beautiful thing now, is that having travelled all over Australia, having created new homes in Fremantle and here in Noosaville, I know that I can create home wherever it is that I may roam. Or if you like Metallica. I guess that's the idea of being truly free, isn't it? Home isn't a place. It's a moment in time. It's ourselves. Anyway, it's been awesome having you with me on these walks. Thanks for joining me. For the last time on this trip around Australia. I'll see you next time on the morning walk, somewhere else in the world. Thanks for joining me.